Okay. We will call to order the regular board meeting of the Chicago Board of Election Commissioners. Good morning. My name is Marisol Hernandez. I'm the chair, and with me today is Commissioner Laura Kotelman
Present.
and Commissioner June Brown.
Present.
Next item is consideration of the agenda. Any proposed changes? If not, we will proceed with the approval of several minutes, and if you don't mind, I'll take them all as a group. Is there a motion to approve the special board meeting minutes of March 17, 2026, the regular board meeting minutes of April 7, 2026, the regular board meeting minutes of April 26, 2026, and the minutes of the regular board meeting of May 12, 2026?
Commissioner Kotelman moves.
Seconded by Commissioner.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Kotelman votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next is the Executive Director's report. Mrs. Spera.
Morning, Madam Chair, Commissioner Brown and Commissioner Kotelman. I will start today with an introduction to Julie Mattia, who will be stepping in on a temporary role until we hire a full-time staff member for the Director of Public Affairs position. Ms. Mattia conducted a lottery last week and is working directly with the IT department to post electoral board information on our website. I would like to share a little bit of background of Ms. Mattia. Ms. Mattia is originally from Detroit metropolitan area, came to Chicago for her graduate degree from Northwestern Medill School of Journalism. Her career began in broadcasting news, rising to the level of producer, transitioned to the corporate communications for Ford Motor Company. And during COVID, her daughter decided to attend a college in Chicago, so she decided to return and began a career in communications consulting. And Julie, would you like to say anything to the board? If the board would like to say anything? Thank you.
I'm proud to serve in the interim position in communications. I want to thank everyone who's been so welcoming and helpful as I come up to speed, and it just deepens my love for Chicago. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
We look forward to dealing with you and exchanging ideas and everything else. Thank you. Okay.
So staff and I met with the 48th Ward Alderperson Lenny Menny Hoppenworth at her ward office on May 22nd to discuss collaboration and community needs. I attended the AECOI Executive Board meeting on May 28th. Our monthly meeting with the Office of Budget Management was held in person in our office last week. They will provide us more information regarding the 2027 budget timeline in July. I've been conducting interviews along with the Assistant Executive Director for the Executive Assistant to the Executive Director and Manager of Registration. Ms. Caruso will provide more details, and this concludes my report.
Great. Thank you. Any questions?
Do we have any info on outreach and what we might be participating in?
I do have that information. I can, do you want me to forward you the
That'd be
information?
great.
But I do have it with me.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So currently, as you know, as I stated before, there are approximately 23 positions that we need to hire for. Currently, we've either advertised or are advertising 13 positions, which includes HR manager and director of public affairs. HR manager job posting not only is on the SIBO website, but SHRM and Indeed and LinkedIn. Director of Public Affairs has been advertised on Indeed, LinkedIn, SIBO website, National Association of Black Journalists, National Association of Hispanic Journalists, and National Association of Asian Journalists. There are 3 more postings should be posted today. Those are the warehouse positions. One's the supervisor and the other 2 are election equipment specialists. I anticipate that all advertisement will be done on or before July 1st. And then, as the executive director said, we interviewed for 3 positions. We will be interviewing for the assistant manager for community services this week, which is an important position. And then we'll be interviewing for 5 polling place investigators next week. In the next couple of weeks, when the executive director is on vacation, we'll be reviewing resumes for the director of public affairs, the HR manager, and then start just carving out dates for interviews. The other thing that we're going to be doing, we'll start making our tentative job offers to those that we've interviewed, and then developing an employment orientation course for those people that are new and will be onboarded. About a 3-hour course, I anticipate, and each department will be giving their own presentation on their key functions during election time and throughout the year. And then we will also be doing, she won't be here, we'll be doing a Spirit Week, Red, White, and Blue, commemorating the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. So that's all my report. Anybody have any questions? No? Okay.
Good
thank
luck.
you. Thank you. Yeah, I need it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We will now proceed with old business, infrastructure projects and changes in election administration, including electronic poll books and voting equipment. Any updates on that? Oh. Okay. Hi, Phil. Thank you for being here, and I'm sure we'll see a lot more of you. Okay. Okay, thank you. Now, legislation. Mr. Lasker.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. As you know, the spring legislative session adjourned on June 1st with no vote called on the elections omnibus bill, so we don't really have much to discuss.
Okay.
They stand in recess till the fall veto session.
Right. So in the fall veto session, I think what we need to do is see what we can bring up and be ready with our lobbyists and to do whatever we can.
Yeah, he's going to continue working on that, but there has certainly been a reluctance to change anything election related right now. They were focused on the budget for the spring, and they sometimes are reluctant to do things in the fall veto session because it's close to the election, but we'll see.
That's true. That's true. And we also have to be cognizant of the Supreme Court case
We're
that's
definitely
pending.
monitoring that. We've had discussions internally as to how we'll modify our practices if we need to.
There was no activity on that youth bill, Jesse Jackson youth bill.
I did not see, that was not one of the bills that seemed to be moving anywhere. But again, there were very few bills, relatively speaking, this session, and election stuff just didn't seem to have any traction.
Okay. Thank you. Now we'll proceed with new business. First item on the agenda is a professional services agreement with Clarity Partners LLC for ongoing support and maintenance of and additional enhancements to the board's website. Carolina, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Purchasing is requesting your consideration and approval to establish a professional services agreement with Clarity Partners LLC for ongoing support and additional enhancements for the board's website. Purchasing previously issued a request for proposal for website development to seek redesign and replatform of the chicagoelections.gov website. A contract was awarded to Clarity Partners LLC on July 25th, 2023. At this time, no further extensions to the existing contract are available. However, the board continues to require ongoing support, and board staff anticipate implementing additional enhancements to the website. For this reason, purchasing recommends establishing a new one-year professional services agreement with Clarity Partners LLC at the same annual cost of $100,000. The board has been satisfied with the services rendered by the vendor and is requesting a PSA for ongoing support and continued enhancements, maintenance, and developments to the board's website. Please consider entering into a PSA with Clarity Partners LLC. with a durational term expiring at the conclusion of July 25th, 2027, in the dollar amount not to exceed $100,000.
Any questions?
Oh, quick question.
Yes.
The point of it. How does this interact with, they were setting up training for our people and they're working on site more than, so we wouldn't need as much service from them. Is that?
So
what
from
they
my
were working on?
understanding, we do require ongoing support because there's only so much that our IT team can handle.
Okay,
Unfortunately, we just don't have the background in IT that can manage the website on their own. And additionally, our previous Director of Public Affairs was working with Clarity to work on additional enhancements to make the website more user-friendly.
so
I
this is
know
to
what-
complete that process.
Yes. I know they wanted to include improved GIS tracking on the website. They also wanted to create, I believe, a FOIA web form instead of, because currently right now, people are just sending requests via email. So they wanted to really automate that process. So essentially, yeah, the goal, the enhancements were to make the website more user-friendly for our constituent base.
Not able to take on anything other than what it's.
Yeah, and so right now, I know Matt's doing a great job, uh, making very fundamental changes on our website, adding any postings. But again, we will require ongoing support for larger scale projects or larger scale enhancements to our website.
Okay,
And so the hope is, once we have a Director of Public Affairs, that person can work with Clarity and IT to oversee any additional enhancements moving forward. Because the good thing is with this PSA, they'll invoice us as services are rendered. So whether we move forward with those enhancements or not, I'd rather have them on the PSA than not.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve a professional services agreement with Clarity Partners LLC for maintenance, support, and additional enhancements to the board's website at a cost not to exceed $100,000 over the term of this agreement, which shall begin on July 26, 2026, and continue through July 25th, 2027?
Seconded by Commissioner Kotelman.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner,
Commissioner Kotelman votes aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the Support, Maintenance, and Modifications Agreement with CDW Government LLC on behalf of NetWoven regarding the board's computerized procurement system. And here we have Carolina Roman.
Purchasing is requesting your consideration and approval to enter into a service agreement with NetWoven via CDW for ongoing support and continued enhancements to the board's procurement live platform. Purchasing previously entered into a professional services agreement with NetWoven via CDW to design a procurement platform for the board. At this time, no further extensions to the existing agreement are available. However, the board continues to require ongoing support, and purchasing has requested implementation of additional enhancements to the procurement live platform. I have had extensive conversations with the vendor to clearly outline expectations for the upcoming project. As part of this effort, I will be directly overseeing the project's development to ensure alignment with board priorities and timely progress. Together with the vendor, I've worked to establish a detailed project timeline. This was a mutual effort designed to maintain accountability and transparency for all parties involved and to ensure that expectations are clearly defined from the outset. Please consider entering into a service agreement with NetWoven for a durational term expiring at the conclusion of June 8, 2027, and the dollar amount not to exceed $51,953.40.
Any questions?
51K for the year.
Yes.
It's a year-long
That
contract.
includes for ongoing support and for additional enhancements that I'm requesting.
Okay,
And just to give you an idea, I think right now with Procurement Live, we're in a good place. It still needs some tweaking.
Okay,
But I've also built on the previous specifications. And as an example, I would like to include an invoice tab to Procurement Live, which we currently do not have.
okay,
So my thought process was currently we have requisitions, which is widely used. But I feel like we need invoices because I think that'll give us a better picture of what our actual expenditures are. Because essentially requisitions should just be obligating funds and the invoices,
right,
will reflect what we are actually spending.
right.
So that's one thing I'm looking to build out. I'm also looking to build out invoices within the procurement or within the contracts tab, which we do have majority of our contracts are uploaded with all of the pertinent information. But I want us to be able to invoice against the contracts so we can see what our running cap is with each of our vendors. So yes. So we're nearly there. I think, like I said, I think we're in a good place with Procurement Live. The last month I got to know the consultant that I'll be working with, and he is absolutely phenomenal. He was very quick, very responsive. So I feel pretty confident working with him, and they guarantee that he'll be on board for the next year with this project. So, but I've had very lengthy discussions with them. They know how we feel about all the work we've been doing with them for the last few years. So, like I said, I'll be working with them on a weekly basis to make sure that we're on track with all of these enhancements. So.
Good job. They know that's my albatross.
Yeah, thank you.
Make me feel good.
Yeah, there you go. Can't get a higher compliment.
Fly every once in a while.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, if not, is there a motion to approve a maintenance support and enhancements contract with CDW Government LLC on behalf of its subcontractor, NetWoven, for the board's procurement platform at a total cost of $51,953.40 for the term of the agreement, which shall begin on June 9th, 2026 and continue through June 8th, 2027.
Commissioner Kodelman moves.
Seconded by Commissioner Brown.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Kodelman votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is a professional services agreement with Kevin Kulbaki of KDX Forensic Consulting LLC for forensic document analysis and handwriting expert services. And we have Mr. Lasker and Miss Delilah Smith to talk about this.
While Delilah comes up, I'll just get started by saying that what we're requesting is a continuation of, or a renewal of the prior professional services agreement with all the same terms and conditions. Mr. Kubaki has been working very satisfactorily for the board. I think
Okay.
Ms. Smith will attest to that. He's very, very good to work with.
Okay.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
So it has been great working with Kevin the past few elections. This past electoral board session in November, he completed 19 cases for us, and we were done with all of our cases within 4 weeks. And he also created a training video that is available on our website
Great.
and also on our YouTube page, and also written instructions. And also, he trained the entire board staff here at 69 on what characteristic to look for when
Perfect.
comparing signatures.
Very important.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Delilah. Do we have any questions?
Well, you know I do.
Yeah.
So, as to this winding, when you said he's trained other people within the staff, so will this wind down some of the need, or will it give more efficiencies for us to do some of? That was what was put before the board before, that the efficiencies of the board being capable of in-house doing something. So our needs, our budgeting will be affected over time. I'm not saying this year.
Right. It should.
Okay, so he's trained.
Right.
That's what
So,
it's-
yes.
Well,
So I Okay.
I would like to add that it has been the tradition of the electoral board to have a certified expert do a second review during these electoral board proceeding. So I don't see that shrinking from a budget perspective unless the electoral board wants to change its very long practice of having that second review.
Well, I think we will review the needs of that habit if we're engaging our staff to become more proficient at it.
Well,
That too.
I think the staff could become more proficient, but I think we always need an expert to oversee
Right.
kind of and make sure everything, if there are any questions. But I think it's also a matter of continuing. I don't know if he continues to do training every year or before every election cycle, because we get new people in and, if you're doing something, for once in a year, or once every 18 months, I think people need to be retrained and
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the expertise being there. Mine was that we gain more proficiency in-house, and then we have more oversight rather than actual performance by that person. That's all I'm saying.
I could share some of my experiences going back to when I was in the private practice with the electoral boards, Chicago, Cook County, the state, and local municipalities and townships. I think that there's an efficiency that our electoral board gets with what we call the Rule 8 hearings, where the parties are contesting the results of the records exam. The records exam is conducted just by staff. At the other electoral boards, they can really get into, with their hearing officer or with the electoral board itself, a very lengthy back and forth on every little signature that they're looking at. Whereas our hearing officers are told, or the commissioners, that they can just rely on the secondary review that's been done by our certified expert. So that when the parties, come in for a Rule 8 hearing, they're not really there on our board to re-argue every little signature. And I think that actually cuts down on the length of time that we've got the court reporters and the hearing officers, the clerks handling those Rule 8 hearings. So I think that there's an efficiency that we've been experiencing for so long that we kind of lose sight of it compared to the other electoral boards. But again, if we want to carry on this conversation for future cycles, we can. But my final point, as I mentioned to you earlier this week, is that I do hear great feedback from the attorneys and from the parties about the fact that
Mine was not to remove the service.
Yeah.
Mine was, as we're training our people to become more proficient in-house, to keep the expertise, but to make it more efficient as oversight.
So I would say, Ms. Smith, let's talk with Kevin after this round, because he's recently trained our staff. Let's get a sense from him as to whether he feels like his secondary reviews are smoother and easier because
That's a
the
great
underlying,
idea.
the initial decisions made by staff are, let's see what he thinks.
Okay.
And let's see what you think about his timing and so forth too.
yeah,
See if it goes any fast.
that we would love feedback from you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're
Gladys.
welcome.
If there are no further questions, is there a motion to approve a professional services agreement with KDX Forensic Consulting LLC for certified handwriting expert and forensic document and analyst services at a rate of $300 per hour with total fees not to exceed $100,000 over the term of the agreement, which shall begin on June 9th, 2026 and continue through June 8th of 2027.
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Kotelman.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Kotelman votes aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Now we have, next item is the legal services agreement with Lasker Law. And Sandra, we'd like to hear from you.
Well, we will request for.
So we would like for Mr. Lasker to continue another year assisting the board as well as myself and Mary Beth and any of our management staff with any legal advice, consultation. Adam works very well with all our staff, including myself. I believe. So express working well with Mr. Lasker. So yes, if we can consider another year agreement with Lasker. What is it?
Lasker
Law.
Great. Okay. Any questions, comments? Okay. Well, I'm pleased to obtain a motion to approve a legal services agreement with Lasker Law LLC at the rate of $295 per hour and with a durational term that shall commence on July 1st, 2026 and continue through June 30th, 2027.
Commissioner Kotelman moves.
Second by Commissioner Brown.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Kotelman votes aye.
She's thinking about it.
Okay. Motion passes. Thank you. Yes. Pregnant pause there. Next is a resolution to prohibit gambling on election results by board staff and election personnel. This is something that I took the initiative to contact Mr. Lasker, our counsel, about it. And let me preface everything by stating that I think we have an excellent staff, very ethical staff, but given everything that's been in the news about poly markets and betting, I just think that it's good to have a clear policy at the board prohibiting any kind of gambling on any kind of election issues that may arise here. I think the board, I think, agrees that this will only enhance our credibility and transparency at the board and with our voters. I wholeheartedly endorse passing this resolution. We will be, I think, the first election authority within the state of Illinois to do something like this, and so I'm proud to spearhead this, and hopefully other election authorities will see the value in it and pass it as well. Are there does any of the board members wish to make any other comment?
Okay, so I know this is a statement and there is no particular law backing it up. Are we going to move to lobby or is it in our ethics statement? Is that what we're saying?
Well, right now, I think the state of Governor Pritzker did pass some legislation with regards to state employees. Is that correct?
Yes, that's my
Yes.
understanding, but it does not
Impact
expressly
election.
impact elections. I would point out that the resolution itself does call for the board to take an official position in
Okay.
support of any legislation like this.
Okay,
This is an item, thank you, Madam Chair, for bringing. It's like we saw some things that would Pennsylvania, and those news reports indicated that that's as a state law prohibiting gambling by election officials. And I hadn't really stopped that. I had not seen that in our election code, certainly not in the penalties provision of the election code. This, again, there does not seem to be a problem. No one has ever come to me to say that we have an issue with anybody doing this.
our
but-
addiction markets they're betting on everything, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't fight that it wouldn't happen.
Exactly.
But force of law or ethics, that's all I'm asking.
Baseball guys, this is like the Pete Rose rule. I mean,
Right.
right? There's just, I think Pete
Well-
Rose, I don't think he was, still didn't look right. So
Right. Right.
Okay,
I have a question sort of operationally. So a board resolution, is that something then we can put into the employee manual and also the judges of elections, like oath or something that that they
Yeah,
do?
that's the goal of next step would be implementing it, informing the employees, circulating the resolution and letting them know that it will become part of the, our policies within the employee manual.
Oh,
Thank you.
or the ethics statement part of the man.
Sure.
Okay.
And Election judge handbook,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
As an
Okay,
administrative remedy, there's no, like we discussed, there's no statutory law enforcement mechanism, but we have administrative remedies.
yes.
Okay.
And then we will also distribute it to our hearing officers
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
because it affects them too. At this point and others, as we go along.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions and comments? If not, is there a motion to adopt a resolution prohibiting the board's officials, employees, election judges, and other election agents from betting on, wagering over, or having any other financial interest in the outcome of any election and in support of any legislation that would allow this to become the official policy position of the state of Illinois?
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Kotelman.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Kotelman votes aye.
Motion passes. Thank you so much. Next item is the adoption of the board's 2027 election calendar. Mr. Lasker?
Well, with all this attention on the November general election here in 2026, it's hard to believe we have to also start preparing for the February municipal and aldermanic and police district council elections. So we've got our standard calendar and information pamphlet ready to go. It includes information on the candidates need for those local city offices, dates, deadlines, both for candidates and for ourselves administratively on the inside. And many thanks to Trish Sheehy. She's left the room. But it was nice to have her back, to assist with this project then. So much appreciated.
Okay. Any questions? If not, is there a motion to adopt and publish the board's 2027 election information pamphlet and calendar as presented by the general counsel?
Commissioner Kotelman moves.
Seconded by Commissioner Brown.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Kotelman votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next is a legal report. Mr. Lasker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. An update on the pending election contest in the first judicial sub-circuit. Today is actually our filing day for our response to their amended petition. The reply would be due on the 16th of June, and there's a status hearing set for the 18th. In the amended complaint, there's really only one issue, and it's not a concern to us. The allegations are that they found during our discovery recount numerous vote-by-mail envelopes that did not have postmarks, and therefore they are claiming that those envelopes and those ballots are invalid. But as a matter of law, the election code expressly anticipates that the post office does not always put a postmark on an envelope. So the election code expressly states that the intelligent mail barcode data can cure that issue. And if there's no barcode data, then the certification signed under criminal penalties by the voters is also sufficient. So as a matter of law, I expect that we will defeat their claims.
Okay.
Then secondarily, I just want you to know, there is a lawsuit that's been filed in the circuit court by Marcus Lewis. He was a Republican candidate in the Republican primary in the 1st Congressional District this past March. It's an election contest. He's trying to contest the results of the election. The main defendant is the State Board of Elections. Our board is also named. The two issues I would like to point out there is that this was not timely filed for an election contest. It was filed considerably beyond the statute of limitations for an election contest. But then his claim too, it really does not involve our board. So even if the case moves forward, I'm not too concerned about things. His claim is that NBC News television had, on a ticker at the bottom of the screen, had published some election results several days before the election even happened. And so and this is a pro se complaint, by the way. He's not working with a lawyer. And so the argument is somehow that the NBC News had election results before the election even happened. and a question as to whether or not those election results were accurate and whether they were included in the final tally. You can rest assured, we did not give any election results to any media. We didn't even know them ourselves. So anyway, that case has been filed, but not of a concern.
Okay.
And that's, other than preparing for the fact that we have electoral board hearings beginning tomorrow on 38 cases, that's my legal report for today.
Okay, great. Any questions? If not, then let's proceed with the financial reports. We have two today. We have a balance sheet and voucher listing for the city of Chicago, a 2026 appropriation number 26-03, dated June 9th, 2026, in the amount of $969,452.53. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Coleman.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Coleman votes aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next, we have a balance sheet and vouchers for the County of Cook, a 2026 appropriation number 26-03, dated June 9th, 2026, in the amount of $1,828,523.53. Is there a motion to approve?
Commissioner Coleman moves.
Seconded by Commissioner Brown.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Coleman votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next is public comment. Did we receive any requests? We have two requests for public comment. Are the individuals here? Yes, come on. Come on up. And if you could just please state your name and if you're affiliated with a particular organization, please state.
Absolutely. Thank you, Madam Chair, and the board for hearing me out. This is my first time speaking in a public comment, so forgive me if I mess up a little bit. My name is Stephen Tramontana. I live in Wicker Park. I'm a private citizen. I'm not part of any organization. I am the CEO, managing partner for CHS Recruiting, and I'm a board member of Streetwise. And today I come here before you because, like many of us, I have significant concerns over ICE and their willingness to do the bidding of a president who previously launched a coup to interrupt valid election-related results. I think it would be naive to assume that this board has not discussed election security related to the midterm elections. As Mr. Lassman pointed out, it's definitely on your mind and the calendar. But I have not seen that communication on the website or any materials that I've looked for. And I think it's going to take a lot of outside the box thinking to work and outmaneuver a group like ICE who thinks law is an inconvenience at best. I personally would like to see a program established by the election board to help train an army of citizen volunteers to help targeted communities in either registering those communities to vote or protecting at-risk voting locations on election day in conjunction with your polling monitors. Additionally, I think it's vital that we establish a dialogue and a conversation with other at-risk cities like Minneapolis, Milwaukee, and Detroit to make sure that DHS doesn't target them successfully like they're looking to target us. I don't think we can wait for this fall to start this. There is too much at stake. The amount of training, volunteer recruitment, and practical logistics is, forgive the term, a wartime effort. And Chicago is ready. I see it every day. We've been out in these streets protesting. We have a very engaged population that cares deeply for our fellow Chicagoans and for the communities around us. And I think that all we need is the leadership and the experience, the knowledge of this board to help us guide us in, well, I guess you could consider to be a government-public partnership to protect our election results. I guarantee you that Trump and DHS and ICE think they have us pinned, but really who cares what they think? We can beat them. So I'd be very curious to hear what the board is developing and to see if we can work together to protect our elections and our republic. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, let me just state that we have taken very seriously any attempts to disrupt our election here in Chicago. And you're right, we have been working since last summer to make sure we can minimize, if not eliminate, any issues. We have had meetings with all sorts of law enforcement, the FBI, state police, Chicago Police Department. We have had extensive meetings because that's only part of it. We have had meetings with the State Attorney General's office because they would be our legal arm and to enforce any laws that we can and try to stop anything we have in court. And on top of that, we have engaged our own outside counsel to help us in the event anything happens. So we have done that. We have also engaged community organizations. I think the important to work with us in the sense that we want community organizations to be not to act on their own, and because we can have serious problems
Of course.
near a polling place. And, you know, our prime concern is that polling places in the surrounding area are secure. People feel safe coming in and voting. So we have been working with community organizations. I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At the direction of these commissioners, we have, in preparation for the March primary, so we started these conversations quite a while ago, had the meetings that Madam Chair has talked about, including with the State Board of Elections, the County Clerk's Office. I think most importantly, the Chicago Police Department. I think that's something you need to recognize when you talk about this Board of Elections training an army of citizen volunteers, that this is an administrative agency that operates under the Illinois Election Code with limited statutory authority.
Mhm.
You talk about our experience and our knowledge, and we have none of that with de-escalating violent situations and confronting armed federal agents. Our poll workers range from high school students to senior citizens, and we will not be asking them to physically remove ICE agents or any other armed agents from our polling places. I just want to be clear, like, that's not our plan. And,
It wasn't my suggestion to be.
okay.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
to be clear, we feel like we have a very strong relationship with and open communications with the Chicago Police, the FBI, the state, you know, as has been mentioned. We have discussed the fact that there are obviously state laws that prohibit this kind, what we're anticipating could happen is prohibited. It's felony under state law. It's
Right.
also prohibited under federal law. And so as we sit here today, unless Congress in Washington changes those statutes, those federal statutes, it would be against the law for immigration officials armed to come inside a polling place and disrupt elections. So what we have done is, of course, with the Illinois Attorney General's office, they have assisted with us and our outside counsel at pre-drafting emergency litigation so we can run across the street to the court if we need to. We've talked with the police and other law enforcement agencies about the fact that they are our muscle. We don't, we count ballots. They can and will help us protect. So, you know, we're not going to get into too many of the details of that,
Right.
but
Sure.
but that's the plan. I don't know that we're going to be broadcasting that on the website. We have, however, been
Right.
speaking publicly about this. With the city, with the county in these meetings here, which are on YouTube. So we're trying to spread the word that we have taken this very seriously from a long time ago. These commissioners have certainly been directing that course of conduct. We share your concerns, absolutely. We don't want any threat to our voter or to our poll worker.
Sir, also, just as a point of further information, every election, like they said, there's law enforcement there, but we always have people ready to act for any interference. And so as we're gathering, this is something of a different level, I know, but there is already a cadre and this is being enhanced. We're working on that right now. And
And,
appreciate the concern because it is very real.
and appreciate your feedback. And my apologies, maybe Citizen Army was too hyperbolic in hindsight. But I think, my concern, and I agree with everything you're saying. We obviously don't want to put people who are untrained. De-escalation is always the right move. I think my concern about ICE is like we say, well, it's not legal, right? And as we've seen, this group is a shoot first, lie later group. They don't care about our laws or whoever. And having been in Wicker Park and seeing my neighborhood get gassed, I was protecting an elementary school over the summer last summer with other of my neighbors because they were circling. We had no help from the Chicago PD. We had no help from anybody. And so I think that's what kind of relates to this is I think we all say, I hope it works, but these guys, they just don't care. And so one thought really is more within the conduct of peaceful initiatives is maybe how can we work together as citizens to go to at-risk places. And just off the top of my head, we're talking Pilsen, we're talking backyards, we're talking, Humboldt Park, right in my backyard, to say, can we register, help register these folks? Could we work more with mail-in ballots so they don't even have to, a lot of folks, as you, I'm sure, very aware, don't really even know how voting works or mail-in ballots. There's big parts of this population who have no idea what those calendars are or what they're going on. So it'd be lovely to be able to get to them and offer help and say, you might be intimidated and we don't want you to be intimidated. We want you to vote and participate. So can we help you? What can we do legally, to help do this so that we can preserve their vote and hopefully get around this? So anyway,
What's the easiest way to register and
Well,
as
I think that Mr. Tramontana?
Yeah, great, man. Thank you.
Mr. Tramontana needs to be in touch with our community services department because we do outreach and education, and this is exactly the kind of stuff that you have been requesting we branch out even further. So I think that after the meeting, we can give him the phone number for the manager of community services.
That's a great idea. And, you could brainstorm with them and see, what will work.
Yeah.
What could work. We're willing to try anything to help out, increase our registration rolls, increase vote by mail, and get people to vote for this election. Okay.
That's great, guys. Thanks for your help. Thanks for listening to me. And also on a side note, thanks for the gambling initiative. That's good stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
Certain thing cannot be.
Talk to those guys.
There in the court, they were the ones who made with the.
Right.
To make sure that.
To investigate.
In the situation, that the conversation start, and if there is a, hotspot, we have direct connections with the, Chicago Police Department, yeah, we. So just give you a bit of more, for that, we do on election day, that's the offices out there.
One other thing, everybody talks about mail-in voting, right? But one of the things that I think that people should start thinking about is early voting, and they don't vote in the ward, they can vote in the.
Perfect.
So.
Yeah, and that's a matter of getting people, organizing people in a group to go and vote. And that assures that their votes are in, the ballots are in. So that's another thing to brainstorm about, how to get groups of people to.
Exactly.
They
Okay.
definitely have.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, we're going to be text. It's open communication before we get there.
Yeah, thank you. Do we have another,
We had a request from a Dabney Lyles, but I don't see anyone in the room other than people whose names I know.
Thank you. If there's no further public comment, do we have a need for executive session today?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
No? Okay, thank you. And if that's the case, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Coleman.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Coleman votes aye.
Motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you.